Hello and welcome to the next episode of my channel where I'll be taking up the lesson The Fun They Had from the Beehive book of class 9th. Now in this chapter we see two children, Margie who is 11 and Tommy who is 13. They are neighbors and they are the children of the extreme future. They are of the year 2157. Now what happens is Tommy, who is the neighbor of Margie, gets a real book in his attic. Now let's not forget that these children are the children of the future. They have never seen a real book, a book which is printed on paper, a book in which letters are not moving. These children are the children of the future and they have an electronic device called Telebook, in which books are stored. So it was a very novel experience for Tommy getting a real book, and immediately he goes to his neighbor Margie and he shows the real book to her. Now she becomes very fascinated. She had heard about that there was something called real books. She had heard about them from her grandfather, who had told her that her grandfather's grandfather used to have something called a real book. Now in this book, the letters were not moving. The papers, because the book was very old, the papers had become yellow and crinkly, and for them it was very funny to read through books. Now Margie wanted to know what was the book about. And Tommy says that it was about a school. Now Margie couldn't believe herself. Who could write about school? School was so boring. Now for Margie, her school was in her home itself. Her schoolroom was just beside her bedroom and she had something called a mechanical teacher. Now her hatred for school had increased even more because her teacher had been giving her test after test in geography and she was doing bad in it. Now why was she doing bad in it? Was she a bad student? No, she was not a bad student, but the mechanical teacher had automatically geared up to a higher level, because of which Margie was not doing well. At last, her mother had to call for a county inspector to repair the teacher. Now, who was a county inspector? County inspector was a man who came with a whole box of tools and wires and he used to repair the teacher. Now, Margie had hoped that the county inspector would not know how to repair the teacher and he would take him away for a month, just like he had taken Tommy's teacher when his history section had blanked out. But unfortunately, county inspector was able to repair Margie's teacher in no time. And he also told his mother that it was not the fault of the girl, it was the malfunctioning of the teacher because of which she was not able to do well. Okay, and that is why Margie was a little skeptical. She was not ready to believe. Who could write about school? Schools are so boring. So Tommy told her, because now Tommy is acting in a very superior manner because he is the one who has found the book, he has already read it. So he acts in a very superior manner and he tells her that it was not the regular kind of teacher they had. It was a man. So again Margie is not convinced. How can a man know more than a human, than a regular teacher, that is the robotic teacher? She was a little, unconvinced. How can a man teacher know more than a robotic teacher? So Tommy again argues that his father knows as much as the regular teacher, that is their robotic teacher. Now let's not forget, for Margie and Tommy, regular teacher means a robotic teacher. Now Margie did not want to argue with Tommy. So she agreed, yeah, true. Yes, humans do know as much as the robotic teacher. Why she didn't want to fight with Tommy? Because Tommy was the owner of the book. If he would have got angry, she would have not got a chance to read the book. But unfortunately, that is when Margie's mother calls her for the her school, which was supposed to be at her home. Now she wanted to know more about these schools, which was a building where children went, together to study, and one teacher taught all the children. Okay, and again she was a little unconvinced. How can one teacher teach all the children at the same time? So Tommy says that if all the children were of the same age, he could teach them together. So she wanted to know more about these funny kinds of school where children played and had fun together, but her mother called her for school. Margie's mother felt that little girls learned better if they studied at a regular time. So when Margie went in, the teacher was already switched on, and it was doing something arithmetic was being displayed on the screen, and the slot was always there, which Margie hated the most, where she had to insert the homework written in punch code. So now when the class is on, Margie is not really paying attention because she is thinking about the children of the past and the fun they had. And that is why the name of the lesson is The Fun They Had. It is the Margie's regret, the Margie's sorrow of not being able to go to a school building and not being able to study with the other children just like the children of the past did. That is us. Now the funny thing is, this story was written in 1950s when nobody ever thought that such a situation would occur when classes would be conducted at home itself. This is what we suffered or faced during the COVID times. So this was a really innovative story. I hope you have understood. Thank you.